everybody. Welcome to Indie Artist Interviews. This is the first episode, and I am being joined by Christy. We were just actually talking right before I hit record. Would have been great banter.
It's Krista.
Christ.
Krista.
Okay, so a little bit behind the curtain. We've been following each other for about 2.5 years now, and their TikTok name is Gavin's Kinney. So, and we send videos to each other every once in a while. We don't really talk. So I always referred to them as Gavin in my head. And I just learned that that's not their name. So Christy I'll know it. I'll know it now. This is
It's
great.
Krista with an A.
I'm good.
It's okay. Third time's a charm.
Cut
Third
it
time's a
out!
charm.
Cut it! Future Spencer, you're not going to, but. Uh, so, Krista, you're a visual artist along with a myriad of other hobbies and skills. What would you like to tell everybody kind of your focus when it comes to art?
Yeah. So I have been drawing since I was a wee lad. Always on pencil and paper, sketchbooks. I have so many sketchbooks that are unfilled. I keep starting new projects and then I'll get a new sketchbook from, my grandparents on Christmas or something like that. And I never finish them. I think I
I'm
have a single sketchbook that I have ever finished like fully. But yeah, no, I do a lot of sketches, and then a lot of the time what I do when I'm wanting to like clean color those pictures, what I'll do is take a picture on my tablet and then trace over it with a line art and then get to working on the shading and the coloring and possible backgrounds. I don't really do a whole lot of background art. A lot of it is just the characters that I'm working on.
Have you ever thought about getting one of those paper digital notebooks where when you draw in the notebook, it copies it straight onto your tablet so that you
I
can
have I
still
have
use it?
seen those.
I saw it.
Um,
It's a good gimmick. I think it's cool. No, but we're actually here to talk about some of your drawings that you've done. Um, let's talk about the first one. You sent me three of them. Which one do you want to
mhm.
start with? They're going to flash up
The
on
two
screen.
snakes.
We're going to start with the two snakes. So for people that are watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see them on the screen right now. And if you're only listening to this, it'll be on the Instagram of Magically Mundane Studios. So if you're only listening to this, you can go look at the pictures there. Let's get into it. So it's two snakes just wrapping around each other in like a in infinity symbol or a Boris type thing. Are they eating each other or are they eating themselves wrapped around each other?
I believe it looks like when I was drawing them, because what I had done was I just drew the one snake, flipped it, and mirrored it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not eating themselves or each other, but it does kind of give that look a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, an Ouroboros kind of style. So when I first started drawing those two snakes together, it was a tattoo idea for one of my coworkers, and it's actually the symbol of Loki, the Norse trickster god.
Of course,
And
famous for being snakes. Uh,
yes, and that's one of Loki's like symbols is snakes, or I believe spiders is another one, and like knots. So with the snakes intertwined like that, they kind of look like two intertwining ropes. So that makes a lot of sense. Um,
why the focus on Loki?
Loki was actually his cat's name. His cat recently passed away, and he wanted to get a tattoo in remembrance of his cat. So he asked me, since he knew that I did some drawing, if I would draw him a tattoo. Um, Personally, I would not get a trickster god symbol tattooed on my body,
It feels
but
like
to
an
each their own.
invitation for trouble.
It really does. You never know what kind of mayhem may come out of it.
It, hey, mayhem's always fun. It makes life interesting. Mistakes are the spice of life, and my life is spicy. Speaking of spicy, uh, I don't like snakes. I'll be honest. No, they're not my cup of tea. Ever since I was little, so this is a story that I can get into. Uh, Main reason I don't like snakes is the lizard guy that would come to elementary schools to show off lizards and reptiles and stuff. I don't know if you've
Yep.
done it, but down where I lived, they brought someone in, and he brought in this big iguana. He brought in this big tortoise, and the main thing that I remember is this huge boa constrictor, this large yellow boa constrictor that he was showing around the class. Now, me, being the child that I was not paying attention. I was drawing, looking down, and he's walking around with this boa constrictor, like kind of laying across him and stuff, and talking and walking around all the kids, letting people like touch it and stuff. I'm not paying attention. He must have thought this was a great idea to come and flop it over my shoulders. And me, not realizing what is happening, shoot up. And I use the bitten off eraser to try to stab the snake as a knee-jerk reaction to, to the surprise. And so the snake, in retaliation, chewed up around my neck. And I remember he had to put his boot on the back of my desk chair to pull it off me. So I don't like snakes. That's where that comes from. But I do enjoy the symbolism around snakes. I understand that they are usually seen as tricksters. They're usually seen as like cold-hearted and oftentimes villains, depending on the culture. But there also are good snakes. But it's usually snake plus something else that makes them good. So, like in Egypt, there's the giant snake that's always trying to eat the sun. Uh, but there's also other good snakes to combat that one, but it's usually snake plus fire. In the Aztec world, there's Quetzalcoatl, and that's snake plus bird equals feathered serpent, meaning like snakes are very grounded, and feathers mean that you're part of the sky. So it is the snake that combines the ground and the sky and all that kind of symbolism. So I understand why snakes themselves are interesting. I just don't like them. My wife will tell you that I threw her at a snake one time. We were over at the pool, cleaning it, and we went into the pump house. And I'm going around, I'm moving stuff around, and my wife is standing at the doorway. And she clocks that there's a snake in the corner. I haven't clocked it yet. So she says, Spencer, don't move. And automatically, I don't know how, I clocked the snake. I turn around and she's in the way of the door. I have to get out. I have to go through her. So I grip one of her shoulders and launch myself forward, but in the process, throw her at the snake. So,
Oh my gosh. We have had, I know here in Florida, they're like little gardener snakes
no,
and they're harmless.
all of them are
And
the
my mom,
devil.
every once in a while, they'll get into the little pool area in the lanai, and my mom will panic because there's just this teeny tiny little guy. It's just a little guy.
No.
But I
The,
digress. I love snakes. I am a huge fan. I had one when I was living in Tennessee. I had
you
him for
look
about
like
two
you like
years.
snakes. You-
I love snakes. I do. I love all reptiles. They're phenomenal. They're great. I love
they have
snakes. I
no
had an
love
Irian.
receptor in their brain.
Well, I can still love them. Like
It's
we can
one
still show
sided.
affection.
It's one
It's
sided.
very, it is a one-sided relationship. It really is. But you know what? That's okay because I love them. I had an Irian Jaya carpet python,
Oh,
and
it's a
he
lot of
went
big
from being
words.
like 3 feet to 5 feet by the time I had ended up passing him on to one of my friends before I moved to Oregon.
Do
And
okay. Sorry, go
yeah, he
on.
was as long as I am tall.
That's not very tall, but that's big for a
It's really not.
snake.
I'm 5'1" on a good day. Yeah,
My
that's really big for a snake.
No one knows how tall I am, not even me. On my driver's license, I'm 5'7". According to the US military, I was 5'10". I don't know where I am. And it changes every time I go to the doctors. I fluctuate. I'm a small man. Um,
Interesting.
I, I think I just have bad posture some days. And they're like, sit up, stand up straight. And I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Mm.
it's all that sitting. Um, no, okay,
Love
so
it.
let's go on to these two characters, the plaid man and the blonde woman. Who are them? Who is this? What was the
Who are
story behind?
them? So
Who are them?
this I needed something to draw. I had hit an art block for a very long time. That's usually what happens. I put all of my energy into one piece of art, and then I don't touch my sketchbooks for months because I put all of my energy and motivation into this one piece. So this one piece, I was like, you know what? I miss my friend Taylor. I absolutely adore her, and I want to make some art for her. And in the right above their heads, with the one character that's like super excited with the big old wide eyes, that one is Yapper or yapping, the text above it, and then the it's right above my friend Taylor, so it's victim of yapping. So because I could go on about certain topics for days if you let me. And my friend Taylor, like she could go on about true crime all day. So, we're both big yappers when it comes to certain topics. But I wanted to draw a piece of art for my friend Taylor, just because like I missed her in that moment. I still do. Don't get me wrong. I haven't seen her in a while, but I just wanted to do a little bit of art for her. Just be like, hey, I'm thinking of you. I love you and I miss you. It's just one of those things.
Well, that's really nice. So this was more of a personal piece, and are the characters? Is one of them actually Taylor?
Yes, the one with the long hair is,
Okay.
and the disgruntled look on their face is Taylor, and
Uh,
the other one is supposed to be me. It's a little self-insert.
it looks nice. I really enjoy this art style. I read a lot of webtoons, and it reminds me of that kind of art style. Because when you go onto webtoons, the audience, if you don't know, webtoons is where you can read web comics for free. It's an app, and Solo Leveling came from there. Tower of Gods came from there. God of High School came from there. A lot of God stuff. I'm seeing it's a lot of stuff on there is power fantasy, and but my favorite is actually romance. And the art styles are not all just anime inspired. There's a wide array of different art styles, and the one that you're showing me, it reminds me of this one romance web comic that I'm reading right now called Swole Mates, which is where this gamer girl and influencer guy are neighbors. They don't like each other, but they both go to the gym. And the girl is absolutely jacked, and the guy is scrawny at the beginning. But then he likes her so much, she says, "Yeah, my guys are people that can keep up with me in the gym." So his whole goal is to get absolutely ripped so that this swole woman would like him. And it just
That
reminded me
is
of the
super
art
cute.
style. It is nice. See, guys, relationships should encourage you to better yourself. You should not lower your standards. You should build on top of each other. Welcome to Therapy Corner, where
No, that reminds me. There's a comic that I've been following on Instagram, and I cannot for the life of me remember the Instagram page name, but there's a comic called Nerd and Jock where like the jock is constantly picking on the nerd, but then they end up becoming best friends. And then like later on, they both get girlfriends. So and like the nerd's girlfriend is like this absolutely ripped, beefy Amazonian woman, And then of course
We
Jock is dating a goth girl. So
we
we
love
love
the
it.
duality of man. The duality of man. You need the jocked one and you
Phenomenal.
need the nerd. I started off as a nerd. Now I'm jocked. No. Uh, I do enjoy my suspenders. I made a story about this on my TikTok. They just make me look huge, just so wide.
I love it.
Yes.
I do like the straps that you've got. This the style is really nice. I like
Yes.
it. It suits you very
They
well.
are. These are not suspenders. These are suspensors. They
Spencer.
yes, trademarked. TM TM TM.
I'm done. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
No. Let's talk about the third and final picture. I mistakenly thought that this person was from the Wu Tang Clan when you first sent me this picture, but it's up on screen right now. Everybody can look at it. Please correct me.
So, this third and final picture that I sent you is a tarot card design of the voice actor Vessel from Sleep Token. And if you guys don't know who Sleep Token is, if you've been on TikTok long enough, if you've been on the internet long enough, at least since 2020, Sleep Token is a metal band that is meant for anybody. They've got a little mix of jazz and reggae, and like it's a very soft, romantic metal. If you really listen to the lyrics of it, and there is so much lore that goes into Sleep Token, but I'll save that for later. But with this piece, what I wanted to do when Vessel and all the thirst traps on TikTok started coming out, I was like, it kind of inspired me to um, and I was also getting into tarot reading for myself and for a couple friends at work. But I wanted to create this tarot card of Vessel, and I feel like with his lyrics and personality and just the lore that goes into the band itself, I felt like the magician just worked for it. So I chose the magician tarot card for Vessel himself. Um, and I remember I put lilies, little white lilies in the corners. Lilies are just my favorite flower. They're one of my absolute favorites. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And of course, he's like holding a little book. He's using his magic to open up the pages and flip through them. Um, and I'm pretty sure I used his red mask before he changed his entire getup for the what's it called? The Even in Arcadia tour that he went through in North America. So I'm pretty sure he has the red mask. I You can see the picture, right?
Yes, I'm able to look at it right now.
Yeah.
Let me flash it back up on screen for everybody. Bam! It's over you right now. You're wearing the mask.
Awesome.
I'm giving
I'm
myself more to do
wearing
later. Why the
yes.
magician?
I honestly feel like with
Can you explain
his
what the
lyrics.
magician is? Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, you're good. So I'm still learning about the tarot cards and what their meanings are. I just felt like the magician fit Vessel very well with the magic that we put into the world and what Vessel is doing, putting magic and energy into his lyrics. I feel like that is pretty much the whole reason why I use the magician. I also, with my tarot card deck, um, the magician card looks the way that Vessel's stance is, like the pose that's on the card I used for Vessel in the drawing. And I just thought it fit him really well.
You said that they are a soft metal band, with a little bit of everything. What do you think that they're trying to pander at all, or is that just their passion is to bring everyone together with music?
I don't
What
think
brought
they
you to them?
are I don't think they're pandering to anybody. I mean, they definitely pander to a certain type of person with the masks and like you see them on stage loving on each other constantly. Like I absolutely adore them. They're
Now, I did
I don't
not mean
really
that in
know. I
a
don't
insulting way, just for the audience. I did not
know.
mean that in an insulting way. I'm unfamiliar with their bands, and pandering doesn't have to be a bad thing. You can pander in a good
No.
way. Like that, I know there's a negative connotation. I was not trying to insult this band in any way. I'm asking like the issue that I find with bands of that uh, genre, and again, I'm not familiar with these bands. Um, it's a one size fits none type of thing where like if one size fits all, then it fits really no one. But if they have found a niche in there, then that's fantastic. I just didn't know what type of band they are.
So a lot of their music, from what I have listened to, I there is not a single song in any of their albums that I dislike. They are all phenomenal. And a lot of the songs, they'll have a story to them about obsession and loss and love. And they really do tell a story in each one of their albums with all of the songs combined. Um, One of my favorite albums is Take Me Back to Eden. It's very metal, very hardcore. Absolutely love them. And when I say soft rock, I mean that or soft metal, they start off a lot of their songs with like wind chimes and piano, maybe a little bit of violin in there. But have they've just blown up since 2020. That's what I can tell you. But I feel like Sleep Token is a band for anyone and everyone, whether you like metal or not. And I know there's a bunch of arguments out there that are like, oh, Sleep Token isn't real metal. But like, what even is metal? Like, you've
That's where
got
the question
Slipknot
gets
and
into.
Korn, like the screamy metal vocals. Like we know that that's metal. That's screamo. That is a subgenre. Well, Sleep Token's metal is still metal. It's just a different subgenre of metal where they add in different instruments. It's not just drums and guitars and backup vocalists. It's they have everything mixed into their music, and it is beautiful, if I do say.
For me, if a song sounds good on the piano, it's a good song. Because there's a few songs that if you only play it on the piano, it doesn't sound good. It's missing something, or it's doing too much throughout it. So that's my opinion when it comes to finding good music is if there's a good way to play it on the piano. Uh,
Yes,
I
and they do have I will say there are two sister songs that they have used when I went to go see them in Chicago. They started off they started off the concert with a song called "The Night Does Not Belong to God." And I mean the first thing you hear is like this beautiful piano um opener. And then at the very end of the concert, they played a song called Euclid, and they both have matching lyrics to blend into each other. And it was absolutely phenomenal. Like you can go on YouTube and you can just look, "The Night Does Not Belong to God, X Euclid," and just have the mashup there. And you can listen to it for yourself to see how well they just blend together. But they both have they both have piano in it, and I grew up playing piano, so I have a soft spot for any song that has a piano in it. And like Sleep Token just does a phenomenal job with using piano in metal music of all things. Like it is beyond amazing. But yeah, that was my inspiration for the art is the
it was
tarot,
very
Sleep
well done.
Token. Thank
Would you
you.
would you ever try to finish a deck of tarot cards? Like you started off with a magician. Would you ever try to fill up the rest of the deck with anything?
I feel like I would think about maybe starting more pictures with the other band members and the Espera, which are the backup vocals. I would feel because the other band members, that you have Vessel, and then you have 2, 3, and 4. Those are their names. That's it. Like we know nothing else about them. They don't have names. They are just vessels, vessel 2, vessel 3, vessel 4. and I feel like I could probably find tarot cards that would match their personalities very well,
Mm.
just based on what we've seen of them on stage and their performances. Because like two is the drummer, so I would probably use him as, oh gosh, I would have to look through my deck to really find which one. But you have two guitarist, one bassist, and then a drummer and the backup singers. Um, but I would have to do some research on which card I would use. Well, short answer, yes, I would probably make some more tarot art if I really put some thought into it. And I mean that piece that I did for Vessel, it took me over a period of a couple days, just because I only had a few hours at the end of the day to do it. So I would say maybe like 12 hours in total, 15 maybe, to finish the piece. And that's just if I put like all of my energy into it and only focus on that. So
Okay. Well, good. That's a good answer. Maybe you could contact them and have a deck, have a brand deal with them.
have a brand deal. Yeah, I mean that would be really cool. I do know that there are some artists who have had issues with, like, photographers who have had issues with Sleep Token stealing their photography for merchandise, but the thing is, like,
It's a picture of them,
the
isn't it?
artists, it's so the band members, like, they just sign off.
Mhm.
They just sign off on stuff. They don't actually, like,
So those are more of the business people that are like put putting a bunch of papers in front of the artists, and the artist is like, "Yeah, I trust you. Go ahead, do it."
yeah, and they can reach out. There's a lot of artists and a lot of photographers who have been reached out
And it is
by the merchants for Sleep Token for their merchandise and whatnot. Um,
it is a
but
it
yeah,
is sad
no,
when the business side of show business messes up, and then the artist gets uh Okay, everybody, we're about to start asking all of the art questions that I will be asking anyone that comes on this show. So you might actually get these questions one day if you want to be on here. So, art question number one: what gives you the most motivation to create, and how do you stay motivated?
motivation. I would say, you know what? Usually, I get motivation when I find a hyperfixation on something, like with um, an ASMR audio story time, where the characters do not have any kind of um, oh, what do you call it? There's no depiction of the characters. They are just the voices. So what I get to do as an artist is draw what I think these characters look like just based on their voices alone.
So, creative
Um,
freedom and vibes are what get you in, involved more. So,
Vibes are a good example,
the
yes.
what about the Magnus archives? Have you ever listened to that?
No, but I've been meaning to. I see it all the time pop up on my For You page, and every once in a while I'll see someone cosplay on Instagram.
Hmm.
But I do need to get into it. Um, that is one of those things. So tell me about the Magnus Archives. Like, what?
Don't know. I have nothing. I
Okay.
I just know it
Well,
exists as an audio drama, along with Welcome to Night Vale. And listen, I have a lot of knowledge of approximate things because of
mhm.
osmosis. I don't involve myself in too much because that would spread me too thin. I like my things and I enjoy that other people are making things. So I go down rabbit holes until I can still see the light behind me to turn around and get out. I never bury
I feel
myself.
it. You know what? That makes a lot of sense. I do love a good rabbit hole, I will say.
Mm.
Um, And there's some really good ASMR stories that that have great lore, great storytelling. Absolutely love it. And I need to get back into it. There's one that I have been listening to since 2021, 22. It's called Redacted Audio. It used to be called Redacted ASMR,
Okay.
but then the creator started using more uh, louder background noise for some of the more dramatic storytelling, that like explosions and stuff. So it was no longer ASMR for bedtime; it was more for storytelling. So
Oh,
it was redacted audio.
I'm
So it's like the
sorry.
boyfriend audio kind of.
So it's someone just whispering into your ear like this, and just, hi, I'm about to go into a cave, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out. Just that type of thing. And it's just a
Pretty
guy,
much.
and then it's just the noises of cloth on stone and someone grunting along the cave. Oh, I bet
Just
someone could do a really.
crawling.
I mean, I'm into horror podcasts and stuff like that. So like Creepcast. Um, I enjoy No Sleep, that podcast. Just a
Mhm.
lot of uh, horror has always been a fascination of mine, even though I'm a big scaredy cat. Uh, can't deal with the dark. Can't do it. Uh, uh, I have an Alexa that's connected to all my lights, so I don't have to go into a room while it's dark. I can just tell her to turn on the light, and then I walk in. Uh, don't put me in
See,
the dark.
I have an irrational fear of hallways. So like I understand like the fear of something like the dark, which seems so silly, but hallways also are very silly, and I understand that. As an adult, like there's no reason to be. I just, you know.
So here's the thing. So I have a fight or flight. Mine is always fight. Um, if I so a little personal, but I don't mind. Who knows? I deal with stress-related hallucinations. They come on while I'm stressed, and it's usually stuff that I don't want to see. Like there's this thing that I call the false turtle. It's about 6 feet tall. It's got a big tortoise shell on it. It's got flippers, but it doesn't have the head of a turtle. It has the neck of a turtle with the head cut off, and then teeth going all the way down its throat. And it peeks at me from around corners and stuff. Um, when I know it's not real, but I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you, you turtle. um, but no, that's just I grew up with this, so that's why I have the. I won't say it's irrational fear when your brain is actively tricking me all the time.
Hmm.
But no. Okay, so question number two. That was a bit personal. What has the most influence over your style?
Oh man. So I used to read a lot of manga back in the day, and the first manga that I ever picked up was Inuyasha. Love the art style. I'm a big fan of like the 90s and early 2000s kind of drawing style. So when I first started drawing more, I guess, realistic characters, I would pull from the character designs in Inuyasha.
Mhm.
And from then, I started putting in a little more of my own style, like smoothing out the jaw lines and the cheekbones and
Mhm.
maybe making the eyes a little slimmer, a little more almond shaped so that they weren't so like big in anime. But I think I'm from what I can remember, that is where I first started kind of building my own style and creating my own style for art, was inspired by different forms of manga. So picking up different books at the library and just kind of flipping through them to see different poses and art styles. Because each manga creator and anime creator, they have their own unique style. I mean, look at One Piece. Like that is so bizarre to me. The like stretched out expressions is like
It's very
it is very
slapstick.
interesting.
It's very slapstick.
It is. It is. Yeah, and I really love that I've been able to create my own style. And I love seeing other people from like, 13 or 14 years old grow up and their art style change over a matter of, 5 to 10 years, just to see how much they've improved. And like I can look back at my old sketches from 2013 and be like, wow, that was really bad.
Mm.
And then looking at my art now, and I'm like, I mean, I could have done an art piece yesterday and be like, wow, this is also really bad. But at the same time, like I have done so much, there's been so much improvement over the last, 13 years, ever since, I was in middle school and high school to now as an adult.
Man, I feel old. No. Uh, we're similar age group, and you said 13 years. I'm like, oh my, I'm dying. Um, no, improvement in art is always the goal. It's all the goal is to try to match what you see in your head, with which brings me to question number 5. But we can go ahead and uh, uh, hit this one. When you envision your work while you are making it, what medium do you visualize it in?
Ooh, what medium?
For me, it's always realism. So when I was doing art and when I
Mhm.
was drawing and painting and working with charcoal, I always tried to get it as realistic as possible with a little bit of stylization where it's realism plus. Realism plus better lighting, realism plus sharper features, stuff like that. That
Okay.
was what I was always going for. So, uh, what goes through your head? What is your goalpost when creating?
I've always loved caricatures. You know those little vendors that you can see at theme parks and stuff.
Mhm.
I love the cartoony style that still has like a little. So I love seeing the realism that's still a little bit of cartoony kind of style. And when I see something in my head, I see it as realism, but on paper, it always comes out very cartoony because I think, okay, like if I were to draw you, I would draw you in a very cartoony style. Your hair would be more swoopy. I think your eyebrows would probably come up a little higher. Um, I love the structure of the jaw. It's a very smooth jaw, and I would make that. I would probably keep that. And I would definitely make you tall. I would make you tall
I know I'm so tall, so tall.
with like the beefiest arms and the biceps and everything. No neck.
No neck.
No
Fantastic.
neck. You'd be that beefy. Yeah.
Well, I
But that's
appreciate it.
what, yeah, and that's what I do is like I'll see someone in my head and just from like remembering what they look like, or if I pull up a picture of them on my phone or my tablet, I can pull little different characteristics from their face or like their body type and make it a little more cartoony, but still give them their real features,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
Something that I enjoyed doing when I was pursuing art as more of a visual means. Uh, I was in a forensics class, and one of the things that we studied there was making suspect drawings, like real quick suspect drawings based off of just the was oh gosh, just
Like the
the
descriptions.
description of it. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. And I got pretty good at that. So typically, when I'm very bored and I can't use my phone, like when I was in uh, boot camp or when I was going through classes and stuff, I choose someone from the crowd and then I do a caricature of them. And then I mess it up and turn them into a demon or something so that when people look over my shoulder, they're like, what is that? I had a crazy man journal when I was going through basic training, so that was fun. The drill sergeants were concerned. Uh,
It's like going through a diary. Why were they looking at it in the first place?
I was
That's what I
showing
want to
people.
know.
That's why I was showing
Oh,
people. I became everybody's
Ah,
entertainment for the next 10 weeks. They were like, full on. We would be doing rucks and we'd be going through classes. We'd be at the shooting range, and someone would be like, "Hey, Cadell, can I look at your Crazy Man journal?" And I'd pass it around, and there was a story throughout it where, in the book, it follows a guy going crazier and crazier as he's institutionalized. Like the meds aren't helping. He wants to hear these voices, all that. So that was everyone's entertainment for the next 10 weeks as they got a story out of me.
but that's like a really cool story, though. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you realize that the medication doesn't do anything. Maybe I should listen to the voices to kind of see what they have to say. They're not just little whispers of random words. Like,
Yeah.
what are they telling me? What is this warning that they're telling me?
Yeah. And
That's so cool.
I mean, I've put the Crazy Man Journal pages up on my TikTok, so you're able to find them and even go through because I kind of was making it into like kind of an ARG for people to try to figure out uh, during basic training, and people would be like, "Okay, so I think that this code that you made over here and that this symbol keeps popping up. What does this symbol mean?" And it's just like, well, what does that symbol kind of look like? I I've always been an entertainer, and that was one of the things that I enjoyed doing. I also ran a semi illegal D&D campaign while I was in basic training. We called it Bible study, and we would keep our character sheets in our Bibles because drill sergeants aren't allowed to touch your religious artifacts and stuff. So
Sure.
we would keep our character sheets and monster sheets in Bibles. And since we weren't able to have dice, I had pieces of paper numbered 1 through 20 that we would put in a hat. And when you had to roll a dice, you would rustle your hands around in there, and you'd pull a number. So that
So how does this become the illegal portion of D&D? Like,
you're not allowed to play games while at basic training. You aren't allowed to have cards, you aren't allowed to roll dice, you aren't allowed to have entertainment.
see, and I should know all of this. My ex-boyfriend was in the army for 5.5 years. He went to basic training, but I didn't know any of this.
Well,
Like, I didn't know. I know you weren't supposed to have your phone for a while there, but I don't know if they brought it back, like
so
in
you
the
get it once
like
a
recent
week on
years.
Sundays. It's up to the drill sergeants,
Okay.
but you usually get it for like, you guys did well this week. You get an hour on your phones, go talk to your families. It's also a way to cut down on morale issues because people are able to talk to their
Hmm.
families more than just waiting for mail.
Hmm.
Cause I mean, it helps.
Interesting.
It helps when you're able to
Yeah.
FaceTime your family, and you're like, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
learned how to take apart a rifle and put it back together. Look, my head is shaved for the first time in my life. Don't I look funny?" And it's just, that's how I kept in touch with my wife because she was pregnant at the time, and I almost got in trouble because Raven called me one day. Well, I called her when I got my phone, and she told me, "Hey, we're having a little girl." And I turned to the entire company. I was like, "It's a girl!" And everybody starts clapping because every here's the thing: you're stuck with these people for a long time. You kind of get to
Hmm.
know everyone in the company, and everyone knows each other.
Hmm.
So everyone knew that I was there because we were having a baby. So and also people just knew me from my stories that I was telling them and everything. Uh, so I yell out, "It's a girl!" Everybody claps, and then a drill sergeant who was in the other room comes in and is like, "If y'all are going to be loud, I'm going to take your phones away." I'm like, "Sorry, I just learned I was having a little girl," and they're like, "Oh, okay, just keep it down." Like it's so
Keep it down
hard.
to a minimum.
What the hell, trainee? But it was always so funny to see drill sergeants have to put on the act over and over and over because they there is a basic humanity to them because they're people,
Mm.
but they have to. They're like a. I compared them to. Now they overheard me say this. I compared them to characters at a amusement park that have to stay in character. And you just farted in front of one of them. Cinderella really, really wants to laugh, but Cinderella has to stay in character, so she can't laugh. She has to say, "Ooh, someone made it stink over here," and then walk away, and then she'll laugh over there. Drill sergeants do the same thing. You mess up, you slam your face onto the ground while you trip over your own boots. They have to yell at you for not tying your boots right when their knee jerk reaction is to laugh at you.
Right. I
But
wonder how much self-control it actually takes for drill sergeants to just deadpan, just be like, get up. What are you doing? Why did you not tie your shoes correctly? You know you're supposed to do this. We have a routine. What are you doing? Instead of just being like, all right, you done goofed.
here's
What's
the thing.
up?
So it just depends on who you actually get. I had two
Mm,
drill sergeants when I was going through AIT. You still have drill sergeants after boot camp until you finish
mm.
your AIT. Uh, every afternoon and Saturday when we were released, I had bought these foam swords and I would sword fight people. And the drill sergeants were coming by one weekend and they saw them. And I had drill sergeants fighting each other with foam swords in the middle of the quad. That was a lot of fun. So they're just people. Uh,
Yeah, they are just people. When they're off the clock, they're normal. They're just normal civilians.
Absolutely. They have to keep that distance because that's what they think they're supposed to do. They're trying to emulate their drill sergeants. So it's really just
Right.
one guy put on an act, and then everyone else was like, "That's how we have to act." It's like if every single actor was trying to be Charlie Chaplin.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
so
I gotcha.
we
That makes
have other
sense.
questions. That was a huge tangent, but it's all staying in. Uh, okay, question number 3. If you could have one person publicly talk about your art, who would you want to talk about it?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer, why? Sorry, I
Jennifer
went
Lawrence,
Jennifer Coolidge in my head. I was like, I could really go for a hot dog.
I could really go for a hot dog.
You
Like the
did.
4th of July.
That was pretty good. But why
Makes me want a
Jennifer
hot dog real
Lawrence?
bad. I Jennifer Lawrence has got so much like of a fun personality.
Mhm.
At least like older Jennifer Lawrence. When she first came out, when she was doing Hunger Games. That's when
Yeah.
I really started to like realize and get into who she was, and like with her interviews and everything. She's just got so much of this big bubbly personality,
Hmm.
and I feel like if she were to talk about someone's art, she would be like, wow, look at this, isn't it amazing, like you should go commission them. Not that I would ever expect anyone to commission me for
Everyone, go
anything.
commission them. Go get cards from
I don't
them.
I don't have anything set up. I don't have a Kofi. I got Cash App. That's all I got. I can
Send
put that in the description below.
put a $100 bill in the mail to them. I'm gonna dox them later, so you can do
Docs of it. There you go. No,
um,
I think I'm gonna be honest. I did not. I completely forgot that that was one of the questions. So Jennifer Lawrence immediately. That's the first one that comes to my head, just because she's got so much of a good personality, and I feel like she would definitely she would be very enthusiastic about people's art and just talking about it and just like boosting the ego of certain artists. And that's about all I can say about it, because again, I'm so sorry I didn't put too much thought into the question. So
that's
that's
completely
what I
fine.
have.
We'll
Jennifer
talk about this
Lawrence.
after.
Sorry. Oh my god, help.
uh, okay, so question number 4. Tell me why this art matters to you. Why does your art
Mm.
matter? Why do it?
It makes me who I am,
Mm-hmm.
in a sense. I don't know how deep I can actually get into that answer, but being an artist, like that's me. not everyone in my family can draw. We are very crafty. Like my mom and my sister and I, we do little diamond art pieces, and I've picked up crocheting again after like 10 years of not touching it. Um, but we're very crafty. But being an artist and drawing and painting is what makes me, makes me unique with my own art style and the backstories that I give the original characters that I draw, or the styles that I give certain characters from an ASMR story time that don't have any artist depictions. Um, so being an artist is what makes me me, and that's super important to remember that the art that you do makes you very unique and very special.
Mm. Okay, I really like that. I really like that. It's
Actually, it was able to go a lot deeper than I thought I was able to
That's what
with
she said.
that explanation.
That is what she said. Um, uh,
I
okay,
took a second. I'm sorry.
it's okay. All right. So after you get this sip, I'll get my own sip.
Get it in.
Oh, I went down the wrong pipe. No. Oh gosh. How long have you been creating, and how long did it take for you to do these pieces?
I have been creating just art in general. I've been drawing since I was 4 or 5 years old, from what I can remember. I've probably, had plenty of coloring books and sketchbooks when I was a kid. When I was a lot younger than that, I remember having markers in the back of the van driving with my mom when I was a kid and coloring all over myself. That's
So you always
that's
wanted
just from what
tattoos.
I always, yes, I wanted to be a tattoo artist when I was younger. I put more energy into sketchbooks. But there's more that goes into like being a tattoo artist. That's a story for another time.
No, it's just
But
like
yeah,
paper. It's just like paper. You can erase
see,
too.
and I'm
It's called
like,
a cheese grater.
I'm very blank.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very blank. So I
I
need I need some more ink.
I have always liked the idea of getting a tattoo, but I live with a lot of shame. So the idea of me possibly regretting it one day stops me from ever getting tattoos. Because what I would like are meaningful tattoos up and down my hands. I want tattoos here where I can look at
Hmm.
them the most.
See, that's the thing with tattoos, though, is like you could get a tattoo of a giraffe because you like giraffes. There's no story behind it. You just like giraffes.
I
And
need
like
it to
tattoos can
have
have
meaning.
meaning.
Like
Totally
personally, that's
understand.
for me. I'm like, I don't want Snoopy on my ass because it would be funny. I want. Here's my thing. I like Norris stuff. I like those symbols and everything in it. It's my heritage. My family comes from Scandinavia, as everything about me can. You can see my brow. Um, uh, but it's been co-opted by racists. So I can't get the cool arm tattoos and like the symbol for bear up and down my arm because people are going to look at that and like, oh, there he is. We knew the Aryan race right there. I'm like, come on, I can't do it.
And I understand where people get the idea that tattoos need to have meaning. Like when I got my first tattoo, is a zodiac sign. I'm a Leo. I was born in '95,
Same.
August. We're
That's
August babies up in here. See, I knew I liked you. But I got a zodiac sign for my very first tattoo, and it was drawn terribly. I drew it myself. I drew it very well. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I am. And the guy who tattooed me went in too deep with a needle, and it's scarred very badly. The skin is still raised, like it's a bad scarring. and the lines bled into each other. So what I did was like that was like a rite of passage. Your first tattoo should be your zodiac sign, or like a constellation that is your zodiac or whatever. So like that's just, and that might just be like a girl thing. But at the time I was like, I'm gonna get a zodiac sign because that's my sign. It makes me who I am. But like that's that's what I
Yes.
wanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
But
knew.
later
What
on,
are people
like
doing these days?
clock it. That's what
Oh,
this
okay.
means.
Gotcha.
Clock
Gotcha.
it. Because
I'm
this
just
means no
see.
in sign
I see
language.
people do this, and I'm like, are they telling me to be quiet? Because people have done this to me to tell me to be quiet, or they'll snap at me. I, you just look just like my mother. Sorry. Yeah, the cinched up mouth. Just
And let me tell you, it's a white person thing. We just
how small can I get my mouth?
it's like I don't know how we think that looks threatening. It's not. It's just funny.
See, I think it's more
You
threatening
gotta
with
you
you
gotta flare the
showing more
nostrils too.
teeth. I am. I just have a small.
And you would think.
I just have a small nose. It's hereditary. Opal looks just like me. Um.
She very
Anyway,
much does. Oh my gosh, she's a little cutie patootie.
we have gotten through all of our questions. So, Krista, where can people find you if they wish to see more of you?
You can find me on TikTok at skeletal dump, skeletal.dump, period, dump. You can find me on Instagram at dancing underscore nebulae. That's nebula with an A at the end of it. I think that's it. That's about the only social media that I use.
And everyone remember, go into her comments and tell her that you're going to send $100 for tattoo ideas. Um, Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope that you have made it to this point. Please like, share, subscribe. We will have another artist on next week. Bye-bye.